Welcome to the Kingdom Hearts recap with Kenny. Today we're recapping the first Kingdom Hearts game. Hopefully future me can provide some visuals, because otherwise you're just going to be looking at a black screen till I'm done here. This game series starts with a strong entry. We follow 14-year-old Sora, who lives on the Destiny Island. His best friends, Riku and Kairi, are working with him to build a raft to escape the islands and see other worlds. One night, that turns upside down as a mysterious storm ravages the island. Sora goes to secure the raft, only to find shadows attacking everything. He spots Riku and rushes to him, only for Riku to be swallowed by the darkness while Sora receives a mysterious weapon, the Keyblade. Then he spots the mystical door that has appeared in front of the secret place that the teens used to play in. Upon entering, he finds Kairi, who seems out of sorts. The door at the back of the secret place slams open, throwing Kairi into Sora and throwing Sora back out of the secret place. Sora's home is completely destroyed, and the friends are separated. Sora wakes up in a town he doesn't recognise, Traverse Town. After exploring and finding the same shadows from his island, he meets Leon, who wants the Keyblade. Leon introduces him to Yuffie, and they explain the power of the Keyblade and the darkness of the Heartless, the Shadows, before they're attacked. Leon tells Sora to go for the biggest Heartless before rushing off to protect the town. Ending up in the 3rd district, Sora meets Donald Duck and Goofy, who have been searching for him under orders of their king, Mickey Mouse. They team up to fight the guard armor before deciding to work together to find Riku, Kairi, and Mickey. The trio make their way to Wonderland, where they protect Alice from the Queen of Hearts, breaking a fundamental rule of their travels. They're not allowed to interfere with the stories playing out or reveal the truth about them being from somewhere else. It's meddling. During the trial, Alice is kidnapped from right under everyone's nose. Sora looks for her, turning the lights on in the bazaar room and facing the Trickmaster. The Keyblade reacts to the lock on the doorknob, and he seals the keyhole for Wonderland. The trio then enters Olympus Coliseum, where Phil mistakes him for Hercules before telling him he's not ready for the games. When they leave, Hades offers them a pass that allows them to join the preliminaries, where they face several waves of Heartless and eventually meet Cloud. He's intent on defeating Hercules, but settles for Sora, Donald, and Goofy, before eventually being attacked by Cerberus. Hercules appears to help them all escape, before Sora runs back to fight the 3-headed dog. Phil names Sora a junior hero and tells him the games will return. After an argument, the trio is separated and crash lands in the deep jungle. Sora meets Tarzan, who takes him to Jane and Clayton. They're studying the gorillas, and Clayton has discovered Donald and Goofy, bringing the group together. They help Jane to contact the gorillas and stop Clayton from shooting them. He disappears, and Heartless begin to appear. After saving all the gorillas, Jane and Turk are kidnapped, only to be rescued. Tarzan says that Clayton isn't himself, and the group face him, along with an invisible enemy. After Clayton's defeat, the gorillas send Sora to the waterfall, where he finds another keyhole. The trio returns to Traverse Town to ask about the blocks that have been popping out of the keyholes. One of the shopkeepers, Sid, says he knows something about it, but they need to run an errand for him first. Sora delivers a damaged book to an abandoned house past the 3rd district. Merlin appears and introduces himself before placing the book on a side table. It's the way to the 100-acre wood, where Sora meets Winnie the Pooh. He will return here throughout his journey whenever he finds a page from the book. On their way out, they meet Riku, who is gone before Sora could invite him along on their journey. It turns out that he's been found by Maleficent, who is trying to turn him against Sora. Back with Sid, the ship that the trio uses to travel in gets upgraded, allowing them to enter wormholes to new places. Leon, Yuffie, and Aerith, who had explained everything to Donald and Goofy, talk about how the bell in the 2nd district had been ringing on its own. The trio investigate, revealing the keyhole before being attacked by the guard armor once more. This time, it flips, becoming the opposite armor, but it's no match for Sora, Donald, and Goofy, and they seal the keyhole. With that done, they travel to Agrabah, where they meet Jasmine, who points them to Aladdin to help them stop Jafar, the first of a group of villains looking for 7 women called the Princesses of Heart. Aladdin confronts Jafar, who steals the genie's lamp and kidnaps Jasmine and takes her to the Cave of Wonders. The crew follows, making their way through the cave. Jafar meets with Maleficent, the leader of the villains. He wishes for Genie to find the keyhole before being interrupted by Sora. Jafar wishes for Genie to stop them, but it's not enough and Jafar is defeated before he uses his last wish to become a genie himself. Sora realises that it means he has a lamp too and uses that to stop Jafar once and for all. While that's happening, Jasmine is kidnapped by an unseen person. Aladdin wants to help Sora to look for Jasmine, but is told that he can't leave his world because it breaks the Order, the other major rule that Sora, Donald and Goofy break wherever they go. Aladdin frees Genie, who agrees to go along with the trio as a summon. On the way to the next world, the trio's ship is swallowed by a huge whale, Monstro. They find Geppetto and Pinnocchio, who are also trapped. Pinnocchio has run away and the trio agree to search for him, only to find that Riku is also there. He seems mad about something and wants Pinnocchio because he's looking for a heart. Sora has no idea why, but they work together to save Pinnocchio from the parasite cage. Back with Geppetto, Riku kidnaps Pinnocchio and Sora chases them, telling him to stop. They're friends, and Sora wants to understand, but Riku won't talk. The parasite cage attacks again, causing Riku to escape into a dark portal and making Monstro's stomach more dangerous. It's defeated, agitating Monstro enough to spit everyone out. The trio then arrive at a world filled with water. Donald, a powerful wizard, uses his magic to help them survive underwater. They meet Ariel, who is just happy to have friends and shows them her home. King Triton is suspicious of the trio and sends Sebastian to spy on them. They find a sunken ship and a box with a crystal trident inside. They take it back to Ariel's grotto, where she stores all her items from the human world, and they discover that the trident fits a crack in the wall there. King Triton destroys it, confronting Sora and telling him off for breaking the rules. He says that Keyblade Masters have a habit of bringing ruin to worlds and tells them to leave. Meanwhile, Ariel has run off upset. She's met with Ursula, one of Maleficent's crew. Ursula has Ariel steal the royal trident and give it to Ursula. She realises what she's done too late though, and Sora helps her find Ursula's lair and face her. She escapes and uses the trident to give her more power, but Sora defeats her once and for all. King Triton apologises for being harsh and allows Ariel to use the trident in her grotto, revealing the keyhole. The trio then lands on a world where Donald's magic turns them into creepy creatures. There, they meet Jack Skellington, who is trying to use the Heartless for his annual Halloween display. They're not attacking anyone, and Jack's friend, Dr. Finkelstein, is trying to make a heart so the Heartless can dance. He sends Sora to find Sally, who has one of the ingredients, then the mayor, who has another. But they're being watched by 3 troublemakers. They report to their boss, who sends them to steal the heart. The Heartless start attacking, and Sora, Donald, Goofy and Jack make their way to the manor near Halloween Town. They find the 3 troublemakers, Lock, Shock and Barrel, and force them to explain. They send the crew to the torture chamber, where they find Oogie Boogie, another of Maleficent's group. He swallows the heart, which doesn't work. Sora defeats him and they leave the manor, only to find that Oogie has fused himself to it with the power of darkness. They destroy the Oogie Manor, which sat directly on top of the keyhole. On their way to the next world, the ship is captured by the pirate, Captain Hook. He's the last member of Maleficent's group of villains we meet. Riku is there and has found Kairi, but she's unresponsive. He's been given the power to control the Heartless by Maleficent, and has become angrier while Sora has been trying to find him. Sora says he's stupid, but still believes that Riku is his friend. The trio is thrown into the brig, where they're rescued by Peter Pan. He's searching for Wendy, and they all set off together. They find Wendy, who's locked in a room with Kairi, Before they can rescue her, Riku creates a shadow version of Sora so he can escape with Kairi. Peter leaves to protect Wendy, and Sora confronts Hook, gaining the ability to fly. Peter returns, and together they defeat Hook, who tells them that Maleficent is in a great castle called Hollow Bastion. Peter takes them to London, where they find Wendy and the keyhole. Before they leave, Peter entrusts Sora with Tinkerbell, who can be summoned. With the knowledge of Hollow Bastion, the trio returns to Traverse Town to get another upgrade and find information. Leon, Yuffie, Aerith and Sid are all from Hollow Bastion and warn Sora that it's dangerous. He goes anyway, and soon the trio are climbing the rising falls to face off against Maleficent. They're stopped by Riku, who is fighting the Beast. Riku reveals that he should be the Keyblade Master, stealing the Keyblade from Sora and leaving him alone as Donald and Goofy follow the Keyblade. Sora teams up with Beast and they make their way under the castle to unlock the door and confront Riku again. Riku attempts to defeat Sora, who is protected by Goofy. Donald joins them and Sora regains the Keyblade and defeats Riku, who escapes up the castle to Maleficent. He's stopped by a mysterious man who had last been seen on Destiny Islands just before they were destroyed. The trio climb the castle to find Maleficent, who has been speaking to Riku and attempting to reveal the keyhole. There's something wrong with Riku, and he has a new Keyblade made of darkness. They realise that Kairi, one of the Princesses of Heart, is missing her heart, and that's why the keyhole isn't being revealed. Sora finds his way to the castle chapel, and Maleficent appears to stop him. She's defeated and opens a portal to an abandoned tower to escape. Sora follows, only to be stopped by Riku, who uses his dark Keyblade on Maleficent, unlocking the darkness in her heart and forcing her to turn into her dragon form. Sora defeats her again and makes his way to the Grand Hall, where he confronts Riku. Riku reveals that he is actually Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, using Riku's body as a vessel to open the door to darkness and attack Sora, who stops him. This defeat causes the reveal that Sora has had Kairi's heart in him this entire time, and he uses the Dark Keyblade to unlock it, destroying his own body in the act. Ansem, now looking like himself, attempts to stop Kairi, Donald and Goofy from escaping, but Riku forces him to stop, eventually falling to the darkness for his actions. A single shadow is left to wander the castle, chasing the escaping trio into the entrance hall. Donald tries to defeat it, but the Heartless attack in force. Kairi recognises the shadow and protects it from attack, causing it to turn back into Sora. With the help of Beast, who stays behind, they escape to Traverse Town. Aerith and Yuffie explain that more Heartless are appearing and they're stronger than before. Leon and Sid explain that it's too dangerous to return to Hollow Bastion, but the keyhole has to be sealed, and they allow Sora to return. He tells Kairi to stay in Traverse Town, and she gives him her lucky charm to protect him before he leaves. After climbing the castle once more, the trio meets the other Princesses of Heart: Snow White, Aurora, Belle, Jasmine, Cinderella, and Alice. They've been holding back the darkness, but don't have much strength left. Sora enters the keyhole to lock it, but is attacked by a giant Heartless. Once it's defeated, he hears Leon's voice. The Traverse Town crew followed them to offer support. Sora seals the keyhole, and they learn that Ansem escaped the castle to a place filled with even more darkness. Before making their way, though, they return to the Colosseum, where Hades has started his own cup. The trio have already returned here to fight in the Phil, Pegasus and Hercules Cups, but now they have a chance to face off against Hades, the last of the villains group. He tries to stop Sora, but fails. The trio move the heavy block in the foyer, revealing the keyhole. The trio then land on a world that has been utterly destroyed. They fight their way through an invisible maze and a giant crevasse into a void of darkness, where the demon mountain Chernobog is lurking. Defeating him sends them on their way forward, where they discover portals that lead them to worlds they've visited before. Travelling further, they find the remnants of destroyed worlds and an open area with a huge amount of powerful Heartless inside. Beyond, Ansem waited. Through a magical door, the trio find themselves on the Destiny Islands, destroyed and filled with darkness. Ansem, as Riku, is here. He tells Sora that everything returns to darkness, summoning a Heartless Guardian. Sora disagrees and defeats Ansem. He escapes, destroying the island more, and Sora follows. They face off again, one-on-one, Sora defeating him a second time. Ansem then destroys the island once more, leaving everyone in the darkness and revealing his true form, a huge Heartless construct that he's attached to. Donald and Goofy are separated from Sora, who works his way deeper into the darkness to rescue them and defeat Ansem a third time. Ansem, defeated, reveals a huge door in the darkness, calling it Kingdom Hearts. He says it's the door to darkness, but Sora says it's filled with light. The door opens, destroying Ansem. The trio run to the door, discovering that Ansem was right. Riku is on the other side and tells Sora he'll help to close it, but it will seal him inside. Mickey Mouse is also there and appears to help close the door. With it closed, the threat is over and the worlds and the people in them begin to return to how they were. Kairi appears in the darkness that was the Destiny Islands as it begins to reform, separating her from Sora once again. The trio follow a road that was hidden behind the door, discovering Pluto and chasing him into the distance.